Lots on with us already. Peter's already on with us. Brian's here. Jim's on. Glad you guys all made it. Back to check out some more cool memorabilia. Now, we've been a few months back. We checked out a big license plate collection that I bought. Super cool stuff. We're going to talk about that a little bit more tonight, as well as another piece to that collection. So, kind of excited about it. If you guys don't remember, I had the opportunity to buy a collection from some people that I've known basically my whole life. They were in the old car world. They were in clubs we were in when I was a kid. Grew up around them. Great people. And when they decided to sell off their collection of cars and parts, I had the opportunity to buy their license plate collection, which I was pretty excited about. We looked at that in depth. We broke it down, spent a couple of Toy Tuesdays going through these panels, of which a couple of them I've already got set out here tonight, because we're going to talk about them a little bit more. But there was one other piece to this puzzle that I didn't even realize when I bought these. Actually, a couple pieces. One, where there were more plates. If you remember back when we went through these boards, I've got two of the panels up here, and there's actually three. I only brought two up tonight for a reason. I'll show you here shortly. But all these plates here, 1913 all the way up to 74 in Kansas plates. David W. is here with us. And they're all cars. Didn't even think about that. A month or so after I bought this collection, I was talking to Peggy, and she said, hey, I was doing some more looking. Camera dirty, or issue on our end. I'm not really sure what the issue is. So we're going to flip it around here in a minute. Maybe it'll get better, so we'll check it then. John's here with us. So she said, I found another box of plates, and they're marked truck. It says the box is marked don't sell separately. Bill's on with us. It says do not sell, not to be sold separately, set only truck tags. So we're going to check some of the tags out, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about this collection as well. So we'll flip it around. We'll see if things clear up a little bit when we do that. Randy's here with us. So let's check this stuff out here. See what you think of this. See if that's a little bit more clear maybe. Maybe we did have a camera issue there or something. Not sure. But this is how this box was found. Do not to be sold separately, set only, truck tags, 1921 to 1969. Brandon's here. Peter's here. Good. Look, we got a little bit better there. So maybe we just had an issue with the camera on the other flip side. So Dennis made it. So this is how I got it, which was kind of cool. I mean, it's a pretty impressive collection anyway. Al made it. Tim's here. And this is what I found when I opened it up. To start off with, I found this on top of the box. I thought this was great. Phillips 66 Safety Pays Tag Topper. Tag toppers are pretty cool pieces. I don't have a ton of them. I've probably got 8 or 10 of them. This one is original. We can see some age to this one, a little bit of surface rust, things like that. But still in pretty decent shape considering this is an old piece and it is painted tin. No oil cans tonight. We're going to do license plates tonight. So this was on top of the box. So that was a pretty good way to start when I opened up the box. This topper is about 6 inches wide. This is obviously where it would have mounted on your tag bracket. So it's about, a little over 4 inches tall, would have stuck out above the bracket. So obviously not too bad a way to start off a box of cool license plates. So I just grabbed the first one. These are all wrapped up individually. This is an original paint 1921 Kansas truck tag. It's been wrapped up so long it's stuck to it. The paper's literally stuck to the back of this thing. It's been on there so long. Well, there's a date on this old paperwork that these are wrapped up in, but don't see anything. So, but in 1921 is when Kansas first started truck plates. Up until 20, they were all the same. 1921, they designated truck with a T. This is an original 3-digit truck 1921 Kansas plate. Still in pretty decent shape considering that thing is 100 years old. And that's kind of what this whole box is. They're all in order. They're all wrapped in paper all the way through here. There's a 22 truck, 3-digit original. Bent up a little bit, but it still looks pretty good. Sam made it tonight. And these go all the way through here, in order. '29 truck, just randomly grabbing one as we're working through the order here. Because I haven't even looked at all of these. Number 1's here. Original paint, 29 Kansas truck. That's right, David W. A lot of these are really in great condition. And here in a little bit, we're going to get into why these are in such great condition. See if it makes any... Tim says 21 trucks don't even look broke in. Jess is here with us. The 1930 truck. Perfect, number 1. Glad you got that. Glad it made it. Tweely D's here with us. Who remembers the 42 Kansas plates with the little 43 additions for the war? Barton County truck. Kenny's here. Truck 33 being Barton County. The 43 addition to the 42 tag. Now, if you remember, we looked at those on the big boards when we got into the war era. Here's a 42 truck. So let's go ahead and prop that up and let's take a look at this 42 truck. Now, here's something interesting. This one's wrapped in a newspaper. Okay? So this is going to help tell part of the story of this condition on these plates. This is a 1942. It's marked 1942. The newspaper that this is wrapped in is July of 1964. Kind of crazy that this tag is 80 years old, but it's been wrapped up in this paper for about 60 of those 80 years. And the condition obviously shows it. Now, something else that I want to point out to you guys, because it's going to be relevant here in just a little bit when we get into this a little bit more. This is the Great Bend Daily Tribune, which is the local paper for where I live here in Great Bend. This paper was 1964. And these kind of go on through here as we start. You can dig through these. There's a 49 all the way in order as we're ticking along through here. Here's the 49. Let's see what this says on this one. Truck 49, beautiful plate, wrapped up once again in newspaper, which is going to tell more of the story of these plates. This is also a 1964 issued newspaper. Check out the Plymouth. Come to Plymouth. Marmy Motors, Inc. Marmy Motors is still our Chrysler dealer. In fact, they have all the franchises now. Marmy's now has Ford, GM, and Chrysler. In 1964, they were just strictly selling Chrysler Plymouth. That's wrapped up in these around these tags. And like I said, it just goes on and on and on all the way up into the 60s. And some pretty super cool stuff in here. And that's how they were found. He had marked them, do not sell these separately. Kenny, if I've got an extra 64 plate, I probably do now that I've got this whole collection. So, like I said, we could dig through all those, but it's going to be basically the same thing. They're all wrapped up, all in great condition, and still look really pretty amazing for their age. So, I don't know what year this, if we can see a year on this piece of particular newspaper or not. '47 plate. I do not see a year on this hunk of newspaper. What's this one? 32. See what this plate looks like and see if we can see what year this paper is. Holy cow, these things have been in here for a long time. '32 truck, 33 Barton County. That's crazy that in that condition. Let's see if we can find any information on this paper that it's wrapped up in. Nope, no year on this one, so thought that might help date this thing, but it didn't give us a specific year, but I think we're pretty safe in some of the guesses on some of these years as being in the 60s when these were wrapped up. So, there's the truck set of this collection. Obviously, like I showed you, I've moved a couple of these boards up here. We've already checked these out. We looked at all these individually, walked through them, looked at them. Thanks, Kenny. I was trying to come up with cool stuff for you guys to check out. So, we'll take a look at these real quick, and I'm going to show you why. I want to share a little bit more of this particular story with you guys because I got something else with it. Joe digs it as well. When I bought this collection, Peggy gave me this book. Just has license plates all over it, okay? License plate book. Didn't think much about it. Flipped through a little bit here and there. This has license plates from all over the world in it. But this was one of the books that he used as he collected these plates, okay? License Plates of the World is literally what this book was called. First printing, copyright 1963. I found something else interesting that was tucked away in this book. Little newspaper clipping about my friend Bill and his license plate collection. Now, this article was about a deal that was being put on to teach kids about collecting. Bill's invited to display his license plate collection. There were people displaying carnival glass. There were people who were displaying Indian artifacts, different things, and this was like a big exhibit that they were like taking kids to. Collector show Sunday afternoon and evening to Benefit Kids, Inc. So they had all these different people that had collected different things. And that's what they were going to be. They were going to come set up their displays. License plates collected even in the 60s. Yep, that's right, Tim. And they were going to, that's what this newspaper clipping was about, was Bill was invited to display this with all these other different collectors in a big exhibit to teach kids about collecting and history and things like that. Now, what I thought was interesting was, obviously, I'm in Great Bend, Kansas. We just looked at newspapers from Great Bend, Kansas from the mid-60s. This particular article was from Liberal, Kansas. So I asked Peggy, because these people have lived here as far as my whole life, as far as I knew. So when did you live in Liberal? So we lived in Liberal in the early 60s, 61, 62, 63. We've got newspapers in there from 64 from local. So this is probably... They lived in Liberal in the early 60s. She didn't say exactly when, but early 60s. That's when this newspaper article came out. Because it was a liberal paper, so she thought early 60s was when this happened. Now, what makes this interesting is when we look at this picture. I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see this or not. But if we look at this real close, and we look at these numbers, and we turn this a little bit, do we see any similarities? Most of these are still the same plate. A few of them have changed. There were a few of them that got different numbers. But for the most part, these plates in this newspaper clipping from the early 60s are still the plates that are on this board in this collection. The 1913 7601 in this newspaper clipping from the early 60s still on the board. So, it's kind of weird. This license plate is almost 110 years old. It has been on that board for at least 60 of those years. So this license plate at 110 years old has spent over half of its life on this board as part of this collection. Now the 78 423 was changed. These two, if we look here, these two were reversed. I don't know if he just had the dates wrong, but these two were reversed. The 1989 is in the clipping. The 78 423 though is gone, but in its place is this 969. So I'm sure that was replaced because obviously he found a much, much lower number and replaced that one. But then we go on through 4809 on the 16, 11705 on the 17, 51751 on the 18, 65694 on the 19. So literally right down the row, these plates have been on this board in this collection for 60 years. And even when you go start down the next row and on through them, they just match. 71200, 143702, 28366. Right on down the line. They still match. They're still part of this collection after 60 years. So it was kind of neat when I saw that. I was like, wow. When you put that into perspective and you look at these plates and you look at these plates being original paint, we checked them all out before and we all thought, man, that's really cool that these are in this condition, been there that long, been preserved. That's why. I can now trace this back to the early 60s that these plates have been part of this collection. So obviously, I mean, I was pretty geeked about it anyway. Obviously, these are people that I've considered, you know, family friends for years, grew up around them, and was just amazed that I had the chance to buy this and add it to my collection, because not only is it a great collection, which is allowing me to sell off a lot of the stuff I had stashed to you guys, but the fact of knowing where it came from, having this sort of documentation with Bill in the picture with his collection, and then now knowing that this all ties back 60 years, definitely explains the condition we have of this stuff. And now we look, you know, when we look over here at this second board, like I said, I did not bring the third panel up because the third panel was not in the clipping or in the picture, but the third panel as well is all the same stuff. So you think about that, it's just crazy that, you know, some of these plates were a few years old. This 52, 53, 54, those plates were less than 10 years old when they were put in there or added to that collection. So I appreciate that, guys. I'm glad that you guys feel that it's where it belongs, because I'm geeked about it, obviously. And we all know, and the reason that we all hang out here is part of this hobby is the cars and the memorabilia are great, but the people are what make it. Not only the people that we collect with, the people that are part of the hobby today, but the people that came before us. Whether that was another collector, just like in this instance. It was another collector that I grew up around and had a chance to learn things from and was able to add a piece of his collection. Yeah, but he's well into his 80s now, so he was probably in his 20s when he started collecting. So plus, not only the people that you collected with or the people that you learned from as you were collecting, but the ties to other people, friends, family members, things like that. So he's holding another tag, actually. It was another plate that he was holding in that I don't have, and she has not found that plate yet. It's another tag that he was holding in the picture. So to me, that's what makes it important. It's the ties with the people. It's the ties with the pieces. That's what makes this world go around. That's why we do this. That's why we enjoy it so much. And that's why a lot of us hold it near and dear to our hearts, because of what it means to us. So that's right, Dennis. I ought to frame the clipping, that's for sure. So obviously I wanted to share the truck tag part of it with you, that I've got those as well. Now I just got to get those on a board one of these days. But when I found the clipping in the book, Billy Bowman made it tonight. When I found the clipping, I was like, man, that's another part of the story that we didn't get to because I didn't find it when we looked at the boards. Now that I found it, now that I have this tied back to these boards going 60 years, that, like I said, we were all amazed at the condition on a lot of this stuff. Now we know why. So that's right, John. To me, there is a face to it because, yeah, and now it's documented on YouTube. Good point, Jim. That, you know, because it's the people, and that's why I had the tie to this collection. But now that I know why the condition is here, why it's like this, it's so awesome. So it's great. Yeah, and they were excited about it, and she was glad that I was interested in it as well. To keep it here local. Like I said, these are all Barton County plates, like we talked about before. This 33 number designates Barton County before they use the letters. So these are all Barton County plates. They are all local plates. It's an amazing collection. And in fact, I talked to an expert the other day, and he said that this 19 plate right down here, which does have some fading on it, does not have the bright colors, but I was told that's one of the better 19s out there. They used apparently a very poor quality paint or finish in 1919, and they fade terribly. And they said that is actually an excellent example of a 1919 plate. So when you think about that, now we know why it's an excellent example of a 1919 plate. It was found back at least in the early 60s, maybe a little bit before that, maybe even in the late 50s before it even made this board and was added to this collection. So that's right, Bill. It's cool to see how it all ties together, and that's what makes it fun, and that's what makes this hobby great. So anyway, that's what I've got for tonight. Jeff, thanks so much for saving and sharing. Great collection. It is awesome. I'm glad you guys stopped by, hung out for a while tonight, and enjoy this stuff with me. That's also what makes it even fun for me, because I can share it with more people now. You know, I get it out to you. You guys jump on, you hang out. We get to talk about it. We get to check it out. And that's what makes it even more fun for me. So, plus in this situation, I can share my friend's story about what he did with this, and then it carries on. So, yep, that's true, John. And I'm geeked about it. Like I said, I'm excited about it. It's an awesome collection. Super thrilled to have it. Glad all you guys hung out for a while tonight, and I was able to share it with you. And that's what makes it fun. So that's what I've got for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It sure sounds like you did. I got a lot of great comments coming. I appreciate all that. Did I get the new sign up yet? Depends on which new sign, Brandon. I bought so many signs over the last couple months. Shopcat made it. I don't even know which sign we're talking about, because I don't know how many signs I've bought in the last couple of months. I've probably bought 10 or 15 signs in the last couple of months, so, which is another problem that I seem to have. But glad you guys enjoyed it tonight. Glad I was able to share the experience and Bill's collection. Oh, the airplane. No, but I think we've got it figured out how to move it. We're working on that. Tweely says, hit the like button. Appreciate that. John, don't go yet. Have a heck of a night. Okay. I think we've got it figured out. I got a buddy that's got a big rollback, and I think we're going to try to suck it up on the rollback, and then kind of leave the bed back. We're going to have a heck of an overhang. But I talked to the sheriff's office, and they said not a problem. They'll help us get across the highway if we need them. But I think we've got a plan. We've got a plan. If you could have a good plan when it comes to moving an airplane. So, Peter digs it. Glad you made it tonight, Peter, from down under. As always, I appreciate all you guys stopping by, hanging out. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Glad a lot of you did like the story, the tie of all this and how it all came together, and how now it is an important part of my collection. And then we'll carry on to my daughter after this, and really go a long way. So, Brandon likes the plane. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see how the plane works. We get to move it. Hopefully here in a few weeks we'll be moving it. So we'll get some video of that. I'm sure you guys will like to see that. Hopefully we'll get it there in one piece. So anyway, that's what we've got for tonight. Tomorrow night I've got some more stuff. Oh, the stuff I bought at the Hutch Swap Meet. We'll be sharing that with you tomorrow night, except for the pieces that I've already shipped out. They'll be on the video. Rusty Nails made it, but I already shipped some of your guys' stuff out today, so we'll bring you that video tomorrow night. We'll bring you some new inventory Friday night. I've got to start hauling cars tomorrow. All I've been doing the last couple of days is shipped, so once you get the plan, I guess we'll look at getting a tank. Good plan. I like your positive thinking, John. Let's get a tank next. Yes, Tweely D, I got your check today. I didn't get you shipped, but I did get it. I had everything. I ran out of time to get, since I just got it today, I didn't get it packaged in time to get it out. So, but I do have your check, so it'll go out later this week. So we're in good shape there. So, then Sunday night live chat, we're gonna give away the Delco sign. Everybody's on board with a tank. Everybody wants a tank. I actually do kind of want a tank, because a tank would be pretty cool. Just because you say you have a tank, wouldn't be a terrible plan, I guess. Some people think it might be a bad plan, but I don't think it would be a terrible plan. So anyway, I'm going to get ready. I'm going to get back to work. A lot of stuff to do yet tonight. Glad you guys stopped by, hung out for a while tonight, and enjoyed the collection. Had a lot of fun with it. I'm obviously super excited about it and glad that it's part of my collection. You guys are provoking me to get a tank. Not that I really need a lot of provoking to get a tank if I had the opportunity to buy a tank. But I don't really get a tank, so. Shock out, those people are wrong. Don't allow that sort of negativity in your life. That's true. I am actually down with the idea of a tank if I could find one, though. So, but tanks are very expensive. But who knows? You never know. Anyway, Yeah, I got plenty of gas tanks. That's definitely, I got lots of gas tanks to take care of. So, anyhow, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to get to work. I appreciate you swinging by, hanging out. Tank can be used for marketing. That's true. The tank can definitely be used for marketing. You guys are enablers. You're promoting bad ideas. Well, actually, it's kind of really a good idea, but you got to call it a bad idea. So, thank you. That's right, Big Job. You guys are promoters of bad ideas. So, anyway, it would be a lot of fun, though. It would be a lot of fun. But that being said, I'm going to get to work. I need to post on Facebook tonight. I need to do eBay tonight. I need to do Craigslist tonight. I got a lot of stuff to do. So I'm going to jump off. I appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. That's right. It is my birthday month, but my birthday's over, Jess. I don't kind of ride it the whole month. I know you do, but it's kind of over. So, but I did get my license plates this year, so I'm pretty geeked about that. So, thanks for being here, everybody. We definitely hope to see you live Sunday night. We're going to yank a name out of that big Buick oil can for the Delco sign. And looking forward to having a great Sunday night. Thanks for being here tonight, everybody. Glad you liked the collection. Glad you liked my story and my friend's story with the license plates. There again, the collection means a lot to me. Being able to share it with you guys and you guys see the connection is super cool as well. Thanks for all of that. Thanks for your support. Thanks for being here. We'll see you live Sunday night.